Excuse me, ma'am. Can I please?
So I'm not gonna lie, I always check out of the conversations that people have about like guys paying for dates and asking girls out and paying rent and stuff, because obviously this is me speaking from like a heteronormative perspective. But like women and men are not equal. Like we're still not equal. Not to mention men are the ones who made up these rules. Men are the ones who made up courting, all that shit. Like, men made all that up. And now that we're trying to hold them to it, it's an issue. Like, I don't understand. And on top of that, I don't understand. If you like a girl and you care about her and you want to get to know her better, why would you not want to do nice things for her? Why would you not want to do that? That's weird. And on top of that, I'm a black woman. Black women have always been expected to be strong and independent. The damsel in distress trope that white women try so hard to escape, like, that never applied to me. Like, we've always had to take shit from everybody else, including black men. So yes, if you're gonna approach me, then do it correctly or literally don't do it at all. Don't waste my fucking time.
Remind me of your gender again? Right, you're a boy. These are for girls only.
Guys, something that's really funny that has been happening in the year 2021, okay, is a lot of women are losing their minds because men are not interested in paying for dates anymore. They're not interested in taking women out. They're not interested in paying women's bills. And this has got a lot of women quite upset, okay, because, you know, women in, at least in the US, have been paid equally since 1963, I believe it was for you guys. And yet we as men, we're still expected to do everything for them, guys. They'll jump up and down about how they're strong and independent, but at the end of the day, they still expect men to do everything for them. And guys, this is what we're going to be talking about on today's show here, which is, you know, despite the fact that women have gotten, you know, paid significantly more, they have access to the jobs that men have had access to. They still want men to do all of these things for them, guys. And we're going to be talking about that double standard here on today's show. But before we jump in, guys, if you're new here, you're liking the videos, make sure that you subscribe on your way in. And as always, guys, if you're interested in supporting the show, make sure you check out the locals link in the description, guys. The first month over there is totally free on me with code Fiendish. But gentlemen, we're going to be jumping right into this article here, which is titled "Who Pays? With Money Matters, Traditional Gender Roles Seem to Stick. Women continue to grow stronger and stronger financially, but men are generally still expected to pay for everything from first dates to monthly bills, according to a new study. The findings coincide with studies that show a strong gender gap in financial literacy in the US." Gentlemen, something that you'll notice as a man is that if you're a dude and you're on your grind, you know, you're grinding your own company, whatever the case may be, something that you'll notice is looking around, women make terrible financial decisions, guys. Like, I'm just going to be straight up honest with it. And a lot of them, what they do is they go out there and they go into the workforce and they realize right around the time that they're 30 that, hey, I don't want to do this forever. Right, so a lot of women, they latch onto a man who's typically financially successful, and a lot of marriages go through troubles, shall we say, when a man loses his job or something like that, because it's not about getting into the relationship for love these days, gentlemen. It's more of an insurance policy for women. Well, let's jump right into this article here. So this is by a man named Kevin. Despite women's rising financial strength, a NerdWallet study finds men are still expected to pay for everything from first dates to monthly bills. The study asked more than 1,000 people across the United States who have been living with their partners for at least 6 months a range of questions regarding attitudes and responsibilities about cash. Now, guys, we're going to be jumping into these findings here, and what I want you guys to take to take on board here is the fact that women, we'll get into the stats in a second here, but women will say, oh, I don't necessarily, their expectation of men paying for dates apparently is lower than men. But I want you guys to, you know, see how it actually works out when we jump into those charts down here, okay? The findings show how resilient traditional gender roles are when it comes to who pays for evenings out and household bills. Vice president of this person says, blah, blah, blah. It suggests that while women are a greater economic force in the economy and at home, financial decision-making is still a male pursuit. Our results fall in line with many studies that show a strong gender gap in financial literacy in the nation, with men much more likely to run U.S. household finances than women. The number of people in the relationship, both men and women, who hide cash and purchases from their partners also is alarming. Money matters are a top reason why relationships fall apart. A 2013 study of 4,500 couples by Kansas State University researchers found arguments about money were the top predictor of whether a marriage fails. right? This is something that, guys, when you look into, it really pokes a hole in a bit of the the Disney fairy tale of the fact that a lot of these girls are with you because they love you or they care about you, gentlemen. And this is something that a lot of guys find out the hard way, where things happen to a dude in a relationship, whether you go through some difficult times mentally, or maybe you lose your job or your position and stuff like that, and you figure out just how flimsy your relationship was. Now, I don't say that to be condescending or anything like that, guys. It's an experience that a lot of men go through where they realize, wait a minute, I thought this was about love, right? I thought this was about a two-way exchange between two people, right? You see, guys, because a lot of women these days, what they're doing is they're expecting you to stick to the tradition, right? They're expecting you to pay for all the dates and do all this crap. But where's their traditional role, guys? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you wanted to be really cut and dry about it, women were expected to take care of the home, cook and clean, look after the kids, right? And have good attitudes and be pleasant. But I don't see a lot of that these days, right? What I see is an exchange where men are expected to do everything, and the women kind of get off, off scot-free for this. Not only that, guys, I kind of want to expand on this point a bit here, because I'm aware we're kind of racing through this argument here. But a lot of women, they actually expect these things whether or not you're in a relationship, right? In other words, a lot of women, they're getting the relationship privileges while not actually being in a relationship. In other words, men are out here giving up their commitment, they're giving up their time, and the girls only have to, say a hello to the guy, which I think is really sad. And I think a lot of guys need to kind of take accountability for that, which is like, guys, you can't be giving these women all this attention when they don't deserve your attention. Like in that first TikTok, mind you, that played at the start of the video. So let's continue with this. While it's good that the vast majority of respondents consult partners on major purchases, full transparency is key for both the financial health and longevity of the relationship. While the number one savings goal for both men and women is building an emergency fund, an important first step in building a sound financial future, nearly 20% of respondents have no saving goals. Goal setting and savings should be a critical function of budgeting for anyone in a romantic and financial partnership. The study surveyed Americans living with their partners regardless of whether or not they were married, as more couples, young and old, live together without tying the knot. Nearly half of women ages 15 to 44 are cohabitating before marriage, compared to 34% in 1995. Now, guys, something that you'll see time and time again that we bring up on this show here is the fact that, marriage rates are going down. Okay, a lot of men are seeing what's happening to other men. Guys, I'm just going to keep it 100 here. Marriage is not something that benefits men. And you can certainly make the case that long-term relationships as well are not something that benefits men, because depending on where you live, guys, a lot of states in America, have common law marriage where you don't even need to get married to a woman, and she's entitled to all your crap and the kids in the eyes of the law. Right, and that's not necessarily a cut and dry issue. I'm aware that some dudes get custody of their children, guys, but it is common practice to paint men as the villains and these sorts of things, and women, walk away with the children more times than not. But let's get into the discussion and the analysis, because I really want to show you guys this chart that's down here. The vast majority of respondents, 77.4% of 1,004 people surveyed across the country who are in a relationship, believe men should pay the bill on a first date. About 19% felt the bill should be split in some way. Only 3.7% of men, only 3.7% said men should not pay the bill. Right, guys, that is so insanely skewed, and this might have flown back in the time where women earn less money than men, right? But we are in 2021, guys. What happened to the whole strong and independent talk? Okay, it certainly seems to me that the women aren't too strong and independent looking at crap like this. Okay, you see, it's strong and independent when it suits them, gentlemen, but when they have something to gain, the tune changes real quick. So let's get down into this chart. Although this sentiment is true for both genders, men are more likely to believe that they should pick up the first date check. 82.4% of men said they should, compared to 72.5% of women. We'll come back to talking about this in a second. Once the relationship takes off, gender roles remain strong when it comes to date night. 59% of women say their significant other pays for evenings out. 56.1% of men say that they pick up the tab. Roughly 40% of both men and women surveyed say they take turns or split the costs of going out. So guys, we have this chart right here, and something that I want to draw your attention to, if I can find it again here. Actually, it's down here, I believe. So let's look at this one. Who pays for most of the dates? So this is total percent of the sample size, percentage of women and percentage of men. Now, looking at this, okay, for men, 3.6% of their significant others pay for the date, guys. You see what I'm saying? Like, look how insanely skewed this is, where men who are in relationships, at least in this survey, 3.6% of them, the partner is paying for most of the dates, guys. Now, you tell me if that lines up with the equality talk, gentlemen. And this is something that, like, look, in the year 2021, guys, like, I'm just going to be completely honest about this, okay? A lot of women, they have terrible attitudes, right? A lot of them are unpleasant to deal with. They're not, they're not fantastic partners. They're not fantastic people to be around. And this is something that makes women lose their minds, okay? Because here's what happens, excuse me. Women go out to date, right? And they meet a dude who's highly attractive and who shows us some interest. So what ends up happening is they hook up together because, hey, strong and empowerment, right? They can do whatever the hell they want. So they hook up together, and that woman thinks that she's entitled to that quality of man in every subsequent partnership that she has, right? So what happens is maybe a man doesn't meet her height requirement. Oh, she'll instantly dismiss him. Maybe a guy doesn't look the way that she wants. She'll pass him up. Right, and women go through this repeatedly and repeatedly, and the thing is, a lot of them, they never really secure a relationship, right? They can secure short-term relationships maybe, but eventually guys really get tired of their attitudes and aren't interested in dealing with them, because truth be told, a lot of these women are shopping out of their price range, gentlemen, and what ends up happening in the end is a lot of these women, guys, they get discarded. In other words, they end up 30, they end up 40, alone living with their cats because their standards are set so high. They still think that they're entitled to all of this money, all of this power, all of this physical attraction that these men that they've been with provide, right? But the thing is, guys, is like, who says that the women are actually worth that? You know what I'm saying? And women get a really rude awakening when they get to 40 and they're unmarried, guys, because they've really given away a lot of their window. And they'll go out there, they'll rush it. Guys, this is the really disgusting part, okay? A lot of these women, they'll go out here and they'll actually rush that part of their life and they'll trap dudes, right? They will literally trap dudes into relationships, and stuff like that, because they're really trying to, and this is where a lot of the manipulation comes in as well, gentlemen, where women will withhold bedroom fund, or they'll say, they'll basically try and manipulate you into giving up more and more of your commitment. And this is something that does not favor you as a man, guys. A lot of these women, they'll actually go for younger men as well, and crap like that, which is a whole nother can of worms. But let's see what else this study kind of has to offer here. And guys, I might leave a link to this one in the pinned comment, depending on when this video goes live. Guys, like, I may or may not be on YouTube when it goes live, but if I am, I'm going to leave a link to this this particular article pinned in the comments. So if you guys want to come and have a look at this, you can. Now let's have a look at this. What percentage of household bills do you pay yourself? Percentage of women, oh my goodness, 14.3%. What is this? Right. Goodness gracious me. Bloody hell, guys, this is just so disgusting to look at, and the reason why it's so disgusting to look at is the fact that women have their equality, but yet they still insist that they don't. Right? They still think that they're unironically getting paid less, and yet we still have graphs like this, depicting the fact that men are just paying for everything for these women, guys. And women, they rack up the majority of consumer debt, if you didn't know, especially in America, guys. Like, the stats are so incredibly skewed, where, make no mistake, the women are the ones out here spending all of the money. Right? And whose money are they spending? They're not spending their own money. Okay, if you guys think that these women who, particularly the attractive ones, right, you think that they're spending their own money? Hell no, guys. They're spending a dude's money on, they've got a dude for rent, they've got a dude for food, whatever the case may be. More than 1/3, 36.7%, have hidden cash from their significant others, and more than 1 in 4 people in a relationship secretly spend money without telling their significant others. Both statistics hold true for men and women. Still, the majority of people say that they don't make a major purchase without talking to their partner first. And this is really interesting as well when you get into things like rings, right, where dudes are expected to fork out ridiculous amounts of money for their for proposing and stuff like that. And guys, it's just another cherry on top of the, just to ask, why the hell would men go out here and do this, guys? And this is something that I've actually got a TikTok pulled up here, which I wanted to run you guys through, of a woman just trying to convince other women of something regarding relationships, which I thought was relevant. So we're going to pull that up here, and we're going to talk about this as it pertains to marriage and girls getting long-term commitment.
I'm here to to remind you that if it's not a fuck yes, it's a no. If it's a, oh, he just got out of a relationship, so like, not ready for a new one, it's a no. He's like wants to take things slow right now, it's a no. He's like scared he's gonna like fuck it up, it's a no. He just like is super busy with work, just like doesn't like have that much time, it's a no. It's like super private, so like he doesn't want people knowing about it, it's a no.
Guys, the reason why she's making a video like this, okay, is because this woman has been through situations where the dude is not giving her commitment, right? And the reason why videos like this gain so much traction is because a lot of women out there trying to date men who will not commit to them. And this is what I'm talking about, guys, where they get the entitlement in their head that they're still deserving of all of these sorts of things, Sherman, because they think that, okay, well, this guy gave me attention, right? This guy who's super attractive or super wealthy or whatever the case may be, he gave me attention for a bit, so now I'm deserving of that in every subsequent relationship that I have. And the thing is, a lot of women will make videos like this convincing other women because, like, those girls who get to 40, some of them realize, man, they're like, oh, crap. You know what I mean? Like, oh, he really didn't want to commit to me. But the younger, like the younger girls, man, they'll never believe it. And make no mistake, even though this woman is making this video, she probably won't truly believe this herself, and she'll still go out there chasing the bad boys as well.
He says that you deserve better. That's why he doesn't want to. So no! If you are constantly feeling confused about where you stand, if you are making excuses for why he can't commit, it's a no. You're worthy of someone who's absolutely obsessed with you, who is a
guys, did you guys hear that sentence? Right, I'm actually going to play that back one more time. Okay, and this is exactly what I'm talking about, right? This sentence right here.
For why he can't commit, it's a no. You're worthy of someone who's absolutely obsessed with you, who is a...
You are worthy of someone who is absolutely obsessed with you. Do you know what happens when you're obsessed with a girl, guys? Like, do you know what happens to dudes who do that? Right, very terrible things. It's not as if like, oh, these women go, you know what, he really likes me, that's amazing, I'm going to pursue this relationship with him. No, a lot of women are straight up repulsed when men are interested in them, and this is something that a lot of guys are realizing, particularly the young dudes, right? There are a few channels over this side of the internet who actually have quite young audiences, dudes from, I want to say, like 17 to 25 would be the range, right? Where a lot of dudes are coming into this and they're going, oh, I see what's happening, right? And they're starting to think to themselves, why would I be nice? Why would I go out here and play ball with these girls when I'm only going to get used for my time? I'm only going to get used for my attention and my resources. Guys, I like to play video games here and there, and I actually watched a video earlier today from a streamer, and it brought a smile to my vampiric face, okay? When I was watching this guy's YouTube video, he basically said during the video that you never want to pay for women on dates, right? Only like very small amounts, and stuff that you're just going to do here and there. And that brought a smile to my face, guys, because whenever I see stuff like that, I'm like, he's probably watched a video like this. He's starting to get and he was quite a young guy as well, right? Because a lot of guys are realizing that the juice really isn't worth the squeeze. And not only that, is the fact that it's ineffective, right? If it was effective to go out here and treat these women like absolute queens, then a lot more men would be doing it, right? You know what I mean, guys? Because women will spend their entire time trying to convince men to pay for them and to do all of this stuff. And men get very frustrated when they realize that they're actually being handed the wrong book, right? Not necessarily the wrong book to women, but the wrong book to life in general, guys, which is like, you can't continue to be giving these people your energy when they're not deserving of it. Right? If someone doesn't want to work with you, if someone doesn't want a relationship with you, there's no need to continue to expend effort into the relationship, guys. You know what I mean? Like, guys are encouraged to invest in things, even if they don't work out, right? And that's something that will hurt a lot of dudes down the track, but it's good to see, like, even just gaming YouTubers and people in society and people on TikTok, as I troll through TikToks for this show, guys, and look at things that you guys have sent me. I mean, even dudes in the comments of TikToks are waking up to this reality where, like, a lot of women, they'll say that they want one thing, but then they'll respond to an entirely different thing, guys. But that's just kind of the reasoning behind this video, right? It's like women will say this stuff, but they'll still go out there and they'll still chase the bad boy, right?
100% and committed to you. No questions fucking asked. Instead of trying to find validation through a relationship, you work on the relationship with yourself. Until you truly love yourself and think that you are worthy of something great, you will constantly settle for potential, for maybes.
Oh my, and that's the real mistake, guys. Is like the women, what they do is they hit this thing where they go, I'm not specifically referring to the wall here, okay? But a lot of women, when they get older, they kind of, they sit there and they think, okay, well, now I'm worthy of this. I've done my healing. Right? It's too little too late, ladies. Like, you think, see, what ends up happening is these women get to 40 and they think to themselves, okay, I'm deserving of things. I know my worth, and that makes me desirable. Right? It doesn't make you desirable. It makes you repulsive. And I don't say that to be mean, guys. It's like a lot of men don't want to deal with women who are entitled. Right? Here's the thing, a lot of men would be happy to pay for dates for you, happy to, take you out and stuff like that. But a lot of women, like, why would men do that? Like, if men are expected to do it, if men are told to do it, it kind of ruins it, right? Where, like, okay, this woman wants to go on a date with me, but she demands that I pay for everything, or she's not going to give me the time of day. Like, how do you think that makes men feel? I know this is something that, society doesn't really want to talk about here, but, like, how do you think that actually makes men feel? Right? It makes men feel like they're just being used for their wallets, which, like, is something that if you're going to have a relationship with someone, maybe you should build the foundation on something a little bit more than wallets, guys. But that's something that if you try and tell modern women, like, hold them accountable for the way that they treat men, they don't want to hear it, guys. I mean, a lot of them will continue to go through their lives just doing the same old thing again and again until it's too late, right?
Knows when you truly deserve a fuck yes. Instead of focusing on all the reasons why he can't commit, ask yourself this: do you love yourself? Do you believe that you are worthy of someone amazing? If the answer isn't a fuck yes, it's a no, and you have some work to do.
I mean, I hope that the video doesn't get flagged with the amount of F-bombs that she just dropped in there, guys. Like, really, what do you... And this is what I mean about the attitude, right? Which is, I'm deserving. We'll throw in the cuss words as well, gentlemen. It's like, oh, I can't wait to pay for dates for that, right? I can't wait to go out here and invest my time into that. Like, is there anyone in the comments who really thinks that would be enjoyable, guys? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh yeah, can't wait to go out there and date women like this. And this is something, again, we've got another Reddit article here, guys, which I wanted to show you. And this subreddit is just proving to be an absolute gold mine for this channel, guys. Like, it really is, okay? This title on this article here is any career-focused ladies have dating advice? I'm just wondering if any career-focused subredditors here have any dating advice. I've got a PhD, and it seems like every time a guy finds out about it, they lose interest. It's wild how predictable this pattern is, and most of my doctorate-holding / otherwise accomplished on paper friends have talked about experiencing this too. It's starting to get really disappointing. Often they feel the urge to try bringing you down a notch, and it turns me all the way off. Has anyone found a high-value man who aren't insecure in this kind of situation? Haven't you noticed any trends during the dating / getting to know them phase? Encouragement and success stories are also much appreciated. I know that good ones exist. My dad was one, but damn. And this is so funny, guys, reading stuff like this, because women seem to think that it's the men who lose interest in them as a result of their careers. It's actually the women that lose interest in the men. Because a lot of women, if they earn six figures, if they're successful in their particular field, they don't want to date a dude who's below them. I actually want to pull this up before we have a chat about this. Like, this sentence right here, okay? Often they feel the urge to try bringing you down a notch, and it turns me all the way off. Guys, I want to just here's my thoughts on this, okay? I think that when they say often feel the urge to try bringing you down a notch, this can be inserted with any rationalization to say that she's turned off regardless. You see what I'm saying? So if a guy comes to the table and he earns 5 figures, there's going to be some variant of this, some behavior that's going to quote unquote turn her off, guys. But the fact of the matter is that women will rationalize it to go, no matter what, if he earns less money than me, I'm not going to be so interested in him. Now, they'll provide a variety of excuses for that, guys. But the one thing that she's got right in this entire article is, yes, it's predictable. It's almost as if it's determined by you and not the person that's sitting across the table from you. It's so the cognitive dissonance here, guys. It's wild how predictable this pattern is. Yeah, it's almost like the women actively engage in it, and you're the thing that makes it a constant, right? You're the thing that goes, that ensures that this is going to happen repeatedly. And this is something that you can't tell girls, guys, because again, like if you want to involve accountability in these discussions, if you want to say to girls, you know what, maybe you're the reason that your dating is going downhill, maybe you should select better men, maybe you should make these decisions differently. I mean, a lot of girls get really frustrated about hearing about that sort of crap, guys. Like I know the girls in real life, right? I know a bunch of girls in real life where if you tell them crap like this, guys, they do not want to hear it. Like they do not want to hear it. Where like any form of taking accountability for their own relationships and their own shortcomings is basically just viewed as the M word, right? Misogyny, where they'll just lose their minds and they won't take on anything. And even if you're not, being aggressive about it or anything, guys, it's just a lot of these women, they think that they're deserving of more, right? They think that they're deserving of a dude who's always going to be there for for her, excuse me. And I knew this one girl in high school. I believe our education system works different, guys. So don't quote me on the ages here. But I was a younger dude, and maybe it's not the same age as your guys' high school. I'm not sure that it is. I'm really illiterate as far as cross country cultures go. But when I was younger, guys, I would always see women in classes, right? And they would all be wanting to get with the same dude, right? They'd always be interested in the same guy. And then they'd all collectively wonder, why doesn't he commit? Like, oh, he talked to me here and I had bedroom fun with here. So, so did Becky back there. But why won't he pick me? Right? And they'll spend their entire lives. And many of these girls, guys, that I'm referencing right now that I'm thinking of in my head, they're still single, guys. Like, they're still single. Okay, it's not as if they're out here and they found their man and they've realized their mistake, guys. I mean, this is something that we talk about where a lot of girls, they really do get to 30, 40, and 50, and they never really realize their mistake, right? I'll say that again, guys. So same women that were chasing the same dudes back in school, they're still single, guys. You know what? And they're going to continue to be single probably until the end of time because, again, TikToks like this one, which I'm going to bring up one final time, TikToks like this, they don't actually do anything, right? Because the women will still go out there and they'll still chase the bad boys. They don't want to hear it, right? So they've got the blinders on. Women will literally share a dude with multiple other women, then be with a guy that she perceives as lower than herself, gentlemen. Right, and this is something that during relationships and stuff like that, I get plenty of emails from you guys. And you talk about this stuff where like it takes a realization moment to go, okay, relationships aren't necessarily what I thought they were. This marriage, it isn't what I thought it was. This relationship that I had with this girl for many years, it isn't what I thought it was because I lost my job or I went through this or her ex returned to town or we got married, but when we got married things changed drastically. And you guys already know that marriage and womanism is not something that I encourage on this channel. And it's something that I think is incredibly damaging to men. But guys, we're going to be cracking into today's last article here before we wrap up today's show. So let me see if I can pull this one up, because this is pretty telling about what I mean when I talk about the attention being withdrawn on this show, guys. So this here is a very recent one, and it is titled "My 27-year-old male female friend who is also 27 who rejected me is upset at my response time as of late. So I had a long heart-to-heart with my best friend and basically told her that I loved her, which was true. She told me that she wasn't the girl for me and to put my energy elsewhere, and we still talk. I did just that. I downloaded a dating app and I am talking to a girl who's very interested in me, so I'm giving her the same energy and attention back. I play video games with my friends or go to the gym every single day on top of working. As a result, I don't have a lot of time to text and I want to give my energy and attention to the girl who views me as a romantic option. I always get back to my friend at least once a day, while she will randomly stop texting me for a day plus when she gets busy." Now guys, we're going to take a pause there to address a couple of things, okay? One, the fact that this guy has success on a dating app says something about perhaps the way that he appears. Don't let women tell you otherwise, guys. Women will try and sell you the lie that this crap doesn't matter. It absolutely does. But a few other things to point out here, gentlemen, is the fact that if a girl rejects you, please do not continue to have long-form discussions with her or anything of that nature, guys. You're essentially wasting your time, is what you're doing. And a lot of guys don't really realize this. Well, let's talk about this part right here, okay? Giving the same energy back. Okay, this is something that a lot of girls will think to themselves, okay, well, if I give him attention, it's going to run him off, right? If I do things for him, if I actually be polite to him, if I don't You know, if I don't treat him like garbage, then he's going to run away. The truth is, guys, is a lot of men, they're never really appreciated for what it is that they bring to the table. I mean, a lot of guys go through most of their life where they're not appreciated at all. And you know, in contrast to women, guys don't enjoy feeling like crap, guys. And the reason why I say that, I know I probably got like a few angry commenters are ready to go here, is that women tend to fall in love with anxiety, guys. That guy who she's not sure about, that guy who's not always there, who's not always responding to her calls and that sort of stuff. Oh, she'll be stuck to him like glue. But men a lot of the times just want someone who will appreciate them, guys, which is a very rare thing to find in today's society, where you got all these women thinking that they're entitled to the world. Okay. A lot of guys just want appreciation. They don't want the games. They don't want any of this anxiety-inducing crap. Because men are quite frankly, they're okay with consistency. It's a lot of the women who aren't okay with the consistency. I mean, guys, you give women consistency on a good basis, and let me know how long it takes her to run away. Okay. But let's continue with this article so we can wrap up today's episode. I can tell from her attitude it's getting her frustrated. Like she just expects me to reply instantly when she doesn't give me the same respect back. Why do I need to drop what I'm doing because she decided to break her radio silence she randomly gives me at an opportune time? I'm a pretty easygoing and friendly guy, but she's honestly getting on my nerves, and I can tell I'm getting on hers. Should I just tell her I don't want to text anymore if this is the vibe? I'm not playing games with her, I just don't have time to text her sometimes because they are long messages. I play Warzone with my friends, and if I see the girl I'm dating texted me, I'll always message her message first. She ignored me all of Friday, so I got it back to her later on Saturday since I was drinking with the boys Friday and haven't heard back from her since. And guys, this is something that, you know, that I talk about on the show, which is like you can't be giving energy to girls, particularly if they're not interested in you guys. Like, why would you be out here investing into people who are not invested in you? And I'm actually going to tell a little bit of a quick story at the end of today's show as we kind of wrap up with the thoughts here, guys. So don't forget to leave your comments and your thoughts on these things as well, gentlemen. It's always interesting to see what you guys have to say. But I know a dude in real life, guys, where you know, he and his long-term partner have broken up, right? And they're still living in the same house because he still has things to do. And one thing I noticed, guys, is even when breakups happen, a lot of dudes still think that they owe women something, right? Like, I still need to do stuff for her. I still need to do chores for her, favors for her. I still need to pay for things for her. I need to make sure that she's, you know, getting cared for. And one thing that a lot of guys lose track of is the fact that they need to take care of themselves too, right? I'm sick. I'm so sick of seeing situations where dudes will be out here taking care of a girl who doesn't respect them better than they take care of themselves. You know what I'm saying? Right? They'll be ensuring that, oh, okay, she's got to be okay with this, she's got to be okay with that, or I'm still going to offer her anything. And this guy that I'm talking about in real life, gentlemen, you know, the relationship is essentially over, and she's disrespected him so many times, and yet he's still going out of his way to, you know, ask her, oh, do you want this, do you want that, and crap like that. And it's like, guys, you've got to be putting effort into yourselves, not into people who don't deserve it. And I'm aware that I bring this up pretty much every episode, guys, and that's just because it's something that I want to get across to a lot of you gentlemen back at home. I know a lot of you gentlemen watch these things for entertainment. Maybe you don't have a girlfriend, maybe you don't have relationships, aren't interested in relationships at all, maybe you're married, maybe you're not married. But to the guys who are still out there choosing to date, or just in general, make sure you're valuing your time and where you put it, guys. And I know that's something that I harp on pretty much every episode, but when we look at stories on this show, gentlemen, where dudes are continuing to put in effort, it just blows my mind, especially when the girls show you, I mean, what they're really about. I mean, this woman in this story here is frustrated because she's not still getting effort from that guy, which I think is just totally hilarious, guys. Because a lot of these women, again, they still think that they're entitled to the girlfriend privileges, and they still think that they're entitled to all of your commitment and your effort when they don't have to uphold their end of the bargain. But gentlemen, we're going to be ending today's show there. So as always, make sure you leave your comments and your thoughts below. It's always interesting to see what you guys have to say in response to this, some of these things. Make sure you share your own experiences as well. And as always, gentlemen, make sure you take care of yourselves, and I'll be seeing you boys in the next episode. Peace.